Good evening and welcome to the board meeting of the School District of Springfield Township, our regular board meeting. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A reading of the mission statement. The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community. Can we do the roll call, please?
Mr. Chapman. Ms. Jordan.
Here.
Mr. Lapidus.
Here.
Ms. Nelson. Mr. Rayer. Ms. Sarsfield.
Here.
Ms. Slapinski.
Here.
Dr. Taratuski.
Here. Announcements. The board at its discretion may videotape all or any portion of the public board meeting subject to the limitations set forth in Policy 006.2, Broadcasting of Meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Okay, thank you. Actually, we are going to move to the appointment of a new board member this evening, and there's a recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the appointment of Mr. Jeffrey Bedard as a member of the Board of School Directors to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Mr. James Taylor.
So at this time, I would like to call over not only our soon-to-be newest board member, Jeff Bedard, but also Judge Haas, who's going to swear in Mr. Bedard to take his oath as a new board member.
Dr. Hacker, we should vote first, then have the board member sworn in.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Davis. That's why we need a lawyer here.
Thank you. Is there a motion? A second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Okay. Roll call.
Ms. Jordan.
Here. Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slapinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratuski.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Okay.
You can face the audience. That would be fine. Thanks, Judge.
Okay, please repeat after me. I, Jeffrey Bedard. I, Jeffrey Bedard. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support, obey, and defend.
That I will support, obey, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
And the Constitution of this great Commonwealth.
And the Constitution of this great Commonwealth.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office
With fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Jeff, if you don't mind, since you have a large audience here, this is a perfect opportunity. If you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit of biographical information about yourself. Sorry to catch you unawares. Just press the button on the right.
Wonderful. Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Bedard. I am a Springfield resident for approximately 11 years. I have two beautiful kids in this school district in 4th grade and 2nd grade. We love this community, and I'm excited to serve. I spent most of my career in corporate. I worked at Campbell Soup, and now I work at Chase Bank down in Wilmington, Delaware. And I'm excited to lean in and help move the district's agenda forward.
Welcome. Thanks.
Additionally, we have another swearing in this evening for our new Assistant Superintendent, Mary Jo Yannicone.
Please repeat it. Raise your hand. Please repeat after me. I, Mary Jo Yannicone.
I, Mary Jo Yannicone.
Do solemnly swear.
Do do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of this great Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this great Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
And I just wanted to say once again, welcome to Dr. Yannicone. For those of you who may not be aware, she currently serves as the principal of Strathaven High School in the Wallingford-Swarthmore School District, which is in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And she went through a very extensive interview process with several of the administrators, a group of teachers, parents, board members, and even students who served on the last interview committee. She passed muster with all of those groups after numerous interviews, as well as a really wonderful presentation on equity and inclusivity. So we're very happy to welcome her to our school district. She will officially begin on July 1st, but she already has a Springfield Township email, so you know that she's in constant communication with all of us at this point. So Mary Jo, once again, we welcome you. We're looking forward to having you join us. And of course, we're sorry that Dr. Atkinson will be leaving us as of June 30th, and we will be thanking him for his service at our June board meeting. So once again, welcome, and I just want to again thank Judge Richard Haas for being here this evening. We always appreciate it when you come and make it official for us, so thank you again.
Okay, approval of minutes, April 3rd, 2018, interim board meeting, board minutes M, and April 17th, 2018, regular meeting, board minutes N. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Ms. Jordan. Mr. Lapidus. Ms. Sarsfield. Ms. Lipinski. Dr. Terentuski.
Aye. Approval of treasurer's report, treasurer's report J. Is there a motion? Motion. And second? Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard. Ms. Jordan. Mr. Lapidus. Ms. Sarsfield. Ms. Lipinski. Dr. Terentuski.
Aye. Reports and information, and first on our agenda are recognitions and awards. We have a presentation from NAM, from Randy Shaler and Tom Kelly from Zeswitz Music, and we will have some awards for our students. This is always a wonderful meeting for all of us, and I see some familiar faces in the audience, so I'm especially proud of the kids that I know.
We're actually going to start this evening with Dr. Rittenhouse, who's going to be helping give out some awards to a much smaller group of students. So we're going to do those first. And Chuck, I'm going to allow you to introduce Tammy Pierman as well as the students and talk about the recognition that this group of students has received. We wanted to make sure we included them as well tonight.
All right, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Hacker. At this time, could Tammy Pierman, Mrs. Pierman, please come to the microphone? George Kent Scheller and Ben Rittenhouse. And Emma Carton is not feeling well, is not here this evening, so we'll give her a certificate tomorrow. So at this time, it's my pleasure to turn the microphone over to Mrs. Pierman, our wonderful K through 12 computer science coordinator and outstanding teacher here at the high school. Mrs. Pierman.
Thank you. So the high school has a competitive programming team, and we went for the first time to the Lockheed Martin Code Quest competition. Our team name was We Dream in Code. And our goal for our first time at this competition was just to place in the top 50%, and instead we earned third place in our division. So George Kent Scheller is a senior, and he's going to tell you one thing about the competition.
Yeah, so one of the things that's great about things like this is in class you learn things very modularly. You learn one skill at a time. But this was a really great opportunity to kind of bring the whole course together and start applying some of that stuff that we learned. And that's kind of the next step for this field, and I'm excited to be doing more of that.
I'm Ben. I'm a junior. So like George said, this was a real-world opportunity that we got to go somewhere outside of school and learn how programming is implemented in the real world. But like I said, I'm a junior, so I will be here next year, and I look forward to doing a lot more of these competitions, as well as taking 1 or 2 more computer science classes as a senior. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mrs. Pearman and George and Ben, for being here and for your outstanding work and for making us proud in terms of the results of the competition. And next, I'd like to introduce Tom Kelly from Zeswitz Music, who's always here, at least he has been for the last 4 years anyway, to present a wonderful award to our school district. And then we're going to be giving out our certificates to our students who helped us win this award.
It's okay. I have an educator voice I can project.
Testing.
Back online?
You're all good.
Check, check, check. 1, 2. There we go. Good evening. On behalf of Zeswitz Music, I'd like to thank the opportunity to come this evening to recognize the school district of Springfield Township again of the NAM, National Association of Music Merchants Foundation Award for Best Communities for Music Education. I've had the opportunity to service the Springfield Township School District for 29 years, and yes, I started when I was 12. So we've seen the evolution here with staff members and administrators, parents, and different students alike. And it's been my pleasure to come down. We're the preferred provider of instruments for the school district. Actually, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be gearing up for next year, being very proactive to it. So again, as a education representative, I come down and visit the schools on a weekly basis and help the staff here, bringing the music store here to the community. So I believe we have a very close tie here, and that's one of the reasons why we're here this evening. A little bit of background on what this means. The NAM Foundation was established 14 years ago, and this was where any school district in the nation could apply to be recognized as a best community for music education through support, administratively, staff, parents, as well as students. I hear a lot, oh, if you apply, you just get it. Well, it's a 25-page document that includes yes or no answers, as well as essay questions to go in depth about what the actual programs that are offered here in Springfield Township. Nearly 5,000 school districts across the nation applied this year. Only 527 actually have gotten this award. It is actually evaluated by Kansas State University. So it's not the good old boys club. It is evaluated in great detail. Again, this being, I believe it's the 5th year. We didn't come down on the 1st year. So 5 years in a row, I know school districts that have applied for 10 years and have not gotten this award. So again, I go back to the dedication of the administration, the staff, the parents, and certainly the students that put the time and effort into this particular discipline. Students that are involved in music, whether it's band or chorus, do better on tests. That is a known fact. It's a study. So if you're thinking that perhaps my child is doing better academically because of this particular involvement, you're absolutely correct. 83% of the Fortune 500 CEOs were involved in music somewhere along their academic career. That speaks volumes as to the leaders of tomorrow. So I'm very, very honored. Dr. Hacker, come on up. We do have a plaque, and again, there's a whole PR kit And again, it's the NAM Foundation salutes the School District of Springfield Township for outstanding support of music education, enriching the lives of children, and advancing student achievement. Ride the wave, Springfield Township, because you guys are doing it very, very well. You've got a very dedicated staff, administration, and certainly the parents and the students make it all wonderful. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great photo op outside, right?
Yeah. Not quite yet. We have to. I just want to say that it gives me great pleasure to be able to accept this certificate on behalf of the School District of Springfield Township. But really, it is the phenomenal teachers and staff that we have here. Mr. Gottesman, unfortunately, is ill this evening and couldn't be here, but we have Mr. Puntel, Matt Barlow, Tyler Lawson, Amy Benton, Rob Benton, who are all here this evening, and they really deserve this award for all of their hard work and dedication, but so too do all of you, because we wouldn't have a music program if not only we were the ones who weren't supporting the arts, but also you as the parents and the students who give so much of your time and your effort and your diligence in terms of the commitment that you've made to pursuing music in your lives, whether vocal music, instrumental music, band, jazz band, whatever the venue, you've made it happen for Springfield Township, so this belongs to all of you. So thank you, everyone, and thank you tonight.
Yeah, sure.
Check, check. Hello, I'm Rob Benton. I'm Erdenheim's instrumental music teacher. I'm new this year, as well as Mr. Lawson and I. We're down hanging out at Erdenheim Elementary School. We are going to recognize the students that were either selected or auditioned for select groups outside of the outside of Springfield Township. So we will start with any of the students that participated in Erdenheim Band Fest, and we'll work our way up through from elementary school all the way up through high school. So if your name is called, you can come up and receive a certificate and shake my hand. First up is Davis Kitsley. Michaela Kelly. Shannon Silvius. Paul Silvius. Anderson Swanger. I don't think is Giada Pontillo here? I don't think she's here. Charles Morris. I think this isn't the Boy Scout meeting. Oh. Give them one more round of applause, all the Erdenheim Band Fest. Now I'm going to pass it over to my wife for the Middle School Song Fest.
So next up we have the awards for the PMEA Junior High District 11 Song Fest. That's grades 7, 8, and 9. And this year the event was held at Colonial Middle School. So as your names are called, please come up and receive your award. First up we have Caden Brunner. Sky Buckner. Mary Faith DiCarlo. I don't believe she's here this evening. Carson Campbell. Gabriela Sejas. Jane Kutcher. Trey Dubose. Edmund Haas. Hannah Shermer is giving me the head shake whenever she knows somebody's not here. Michaela Mitchell.
Head nod then.
No. Annika Peterson. Hannah Shermer. Alexander Edmonds. Fallon George.
Thank you.
Francis Holcomb. Samantha Klein. Anthony Lee. Elizabeth Maxwell. Lucas McCabe. Shannon Meter. And finally, for Junior High Songfest, Caitlin Beecham. Next up, Matt Barlow will present for Middle School Montco Band. Elementary Band Fest as well.
Hey, so the following students are sixth graders selected for Elementary Band Fest. The first of whom is Teresa Talbot. Kaylee Noonan. I didn't see Kaylee. Is she here? No. Shannon Talley.
Thank you.
Isabella Filippi. I didn't see. Ryan Agnew is not with us tonight. Alana Decker is, though. Kaylee Evans. Wilcox Tolo is hopefully winning his lacrosse game right now. And Nora Lacey. These students were selected for the Middle School Montco Band. So these are 7th and 8th graders participating in the instrumental program. Caden Brunner. Nora Swartz. All of these people have nicknames that I call them by. It's very, very hard for me to say their real names. Piper Silberman, I didn't see. Did I? No? Okay. Let's see. Joey Scott. Taylor Schultz, who I don't believe. No, not tonight. Crystal Pham, I did see. Uma Padmanabhan. Miles O'Rourke. Kaylee McKinney. Elizabeth Maxwell. Anthony Lee. Isabel Kling. Max Kelly. Simran Jan. Alec Wong. I don't believe I saw Alec. Francis Holcomb. Charlotte Hartner. Didn't see Charlotte. Bennett Grothison. Don't think I saw Bennett. Jesse Goodman is here. Katie Eckert. Faith DiCarlo is not with us. Lauren Bundy. And Sky Buckner. And I will pass over the microphone to Mr. Puntel.
Well, thank you. I stand here today actually at the behest of Mr. Chuck Gottesman, who extends his regrets for not being able to be here, but holds on to his germs. So we're grateful for all of his work, certainly with our community here and at the middle school and throughout the district as our coordinator. The distinction that I am called upon to bestow is a very special one, and it's also quite relevant to mention some of the students' activities before I bestow the award. So many of these students here are not only fine musicians and examples of great musicianship and citizenship here in our community, but they're also of great service musically and socially to those around them. This student serves primarily as a violinist in our symphonic band here at the high school. She has also served in her community and with her family in a religious setting at church. In the past week, she's served at our middle school choral concert. She was a fine fiddler for a very advanced and amazing piece that really wowed me, and it was fantastic. She's done some videos with our choral program here. She's always willing to go out and be of service, of musical service, and I think that that's a great trait that I'd like to honor at this moment. I'm here, however, to bestow this award. It's the PMEA. It's the PMEA District and Regional Orchestra. So she had auditioned, she went out and competed for a district spot and obtained it, went and served and did the concert, and went on to the next heights, which is a very, very competitive level of playing, which is PMEA Region 6 District Orchestra. I invite you to please give a round of applause for Miss Rebecca Lee. And that concludes our awards for this evening. Thank you, Board. Thank you, Administrators. We will be convening for High School Monco Band. Am I doing them?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. All right. I misread the phone call. Sorry. I was in Trader Joe's when I got Chuck's phone call, and I sort of. All right. We do have High School Monco Band. I'm privileged to be able to award these as well. I'll do it quickly and reverently as possible. All right. So the first one goes to Benjamin Durham. Julie Jin. Catherine Kaufman. Michaela Mitchell. Lucy Namira. Dominic Namira. Magdalene O'Rourke. Julia Pratt. Devin Reed. Eric Stout. Caesar Stringfield. And John Yee. Pardon me for my snafu of order there, but congratulations to all. That was for our Montkill High School band, so those that participate in a select group within our Montgomery County high schools, as we did for the middle school as well. Congratulations to one and all. And Mr. Jeff Kutcher. And Mr. Kyler Brunner. Have we more? Me. Come you one. And try, for the second recognition, Mr. Trey DeBose. Way to speak up. Good skills. Thank you. We have a convene of outside. An outside convene for our picture, please. If you are recognized for a music award, please join us in the by the tree out here. Mr. Oliver, help us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anyone here from the PTA or EEHSP for the district report? Okay.
Now, I do want to just say one thing, though, if you'll allow me. I believe the carnival is this Saturday, correct? The Enfield Erdenheim EEHSP-sponsored carnival. So I just want to put a plug in, since nobody else is here from the organization. It's from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, rain or shine, on Saturday.
It's always a fun event. Absolutely. All right. Student council report. We have Caroline Shelley and Charlotte DeCurlis on the agenda, but if there's anyone else here from the high school to do the student council report, you can come up. No, maybe. Okay. Administrative reports, Dr. Hacker.
Thank you very much. It's always a lovely evening when we have students that we're able to recognize for their many accomplishments. That's always the highlight of a board meeting. So sorry, board members, you've been upstaged by our students. I just want to once again announce that we have our community meeting scheduled for Tuesday evening, May 22nd at 6:30 p.m. here in the Freeze lobby. And at that meeting, we are going to be discussing the phasing timetables and actions that will be taken during the various stages of our high school construction project. That's a meeting that should hold great interest to residents of the community as well as to the board as we announce which aspects of the high school school campus are going to be impacted, in what way and when. And I just want to thank our high school staff, particularly Mr. Ferraro, who happens to be here, Mr. Ortiz, Mr. Scragan, Dr. Rittenhouse, who all had input, obviously, along with several of the administrators about the decisions that needed to be made with respect to the phasing of the fields and their preparation, the interior of the building, and so forth. So it should be a very interesting meeting, and I hope people will be able to attend. Thank you.
Reports of committees. Academic Affairs Committee, Catherine Sarsfield.
So the Academic Affairs Committee met on Thursday, May 3rd at 5 p.m. in the Administration Building. Dr. Atkinson spoke about the process that took place this year in the mathematics curriculum review. That review took place predominantly at the elementary and middle school levels. The review teams, which consisted of teachers, the administrative teams, proposed adopting the Envision Mathematics program published by Pearson. This will be a K through 7 adoption of this curriculum, with the need to purchase some 8th grade materials during the transition. Algebra and geometry will still be offered in the middle school, and there will be a need to update those textbooks used in those courses as well. Dr. Hacker spoke with the committee about the opportunity offered through the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit to look at personalized learning. And if anybody wants to take a look at what Dr. Hacker gave to us, I have some of that material, but it's an initiative that will involve teachers and administrators over the next 2 years, and will take a commitment from teachers to do some professional development and personalized learning that they can utilize in their classroom. Dr. Hacker also spoke to the committee about another exciting opportunity with the Avalon Foundation to develop project-based learning here in the district. This innovative initiative will look at ways that project-based learning can be infused into the curriculum in our district. So that's a very exciting program that will be taking place and we'll be examining in the next year or so. Let's see, Dr. Johnston talked with the committee about a curriculum dealing with healthy relationships targeted to our special needs students. This social skills curriculum covers topics such as caring for oneself, understanding our bodies, and relationship development. Dr. Johnston also brought up to the committee the need to infuse more social emotional learning in grades K through 3 and in health grades 4 and 5. The intent of these changes is to support all students in making good social and emotional healthy choices. So that was brought up. And then lastly, we discussed that the middle school trade book adoption. Dr. Atkinson explained to the committee that 6th grade ELA teachers currently are using a writing-based curriculum as is used across the board in the middle school, but they wanted to infuse more literature choices. So they're bringing in 2 texts into their poetry unit. Both texts have an anti-bullying theme. The proposed trade books are Garvey's Choice by Nikki Grimes and Rhyme Schema by K.A. Holt. So that's about it. Are there any questions?
I just have a question about the math curriculum. Will that be starting in the fall? Is that when we're looking at implementation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it will be, it will be K through 7, so yeah, starting in the fall.
Is there, because this is K through 7, is there any other changes? Is there anything being looked at for the high school, or is the high school curriculum in line? Or
High school curriculum so far is in line. They have a fairly standard sequence of courses, including algebra, geometry, algebra 2, and then from there, students can go on if they choose to take algebra 2 trig, they can take pre-calc, calculus, any of the AP and honors classes in those areas as well.
I mean, they even go up to, I think, multivariable calculus for, some of the more advanced mathematics students.
Okay. So the analysis that was done that brought you to looking at the K through 7 in terms of the test scores and where we were and where we were stagnated, if we were growing, if it was getting better, is that done at the high school level as well?
It is done, except the courses typically don't change. What may change are the materials, the textbooks that are being used, but they're much more standard at the high school level. Algebra 2 doesn't change. What changes really is at the foundational level, at the elementary level, the concepts to which students are exposed. But at the high school level, when they take a discrete course, this course itself really doesn't change significantly. What we do look at is to ensure that it contains the standardized content for whether it's an Algebra 2, whether it's pre-calculus, and so forth. Occasionally, what they will look at are new textbooks to replace older textbooks, but generally the content doesn't vary significantly in those areas.
Any other questions? Finance Committee, Walter Lapidus.
Thank you.
Always entertaining.
I can't follow that. So I was going to go with the Cliff Notes version, but Mr. King handed me the War and Peace of Finance Committee meeting updates. So it wouldn't be fair for me to be brief, I think, to the audience. So really, because we discussed 2 items, and I can summarize them in 45 brief minutes. Not really. Let's see. We talked about the proposed tax increase for the next year, which takes into account that we are starting the bulk of the fundraising bond issuance for the Early Learning Center project. And even with that, Mr. King gave himself the credit for being able to keep the tax increase to a actually respectable 2.08%. I think when we first started, I know it says 3.17, but I think when we first started, we were at 5 something, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a significant amount of work that Mr. King and the administration did in order to not only get to index, but be significantly below index and as close to 2% as possible, knowing that it impacts both people whose children are in school as well as the older population who's more sensitive to tax increases. So we are having a motion on tonight's agenda to approve the release of the final budget, and then we'll be voting on the budget in about a month. Correct. Okay, we also talked about project funding, bond issuance, and transfer of funds between accounts, which is something that I guess it's putting money into one pocket and taking out of the other, but it has implications on the bond rating. So we are doing what is in the best interests of the district and obviously in turn the taxpayers, because we'll ultimately qualify for the best rates available because we are a fairly highly rated district when it comes to bond ratings. I think, let's see, sorry to offset the steam costs. I think I've summarized everything. Are there any questions or comments from anyone? No.
Yeah. When are you going to do public comment on agenda items?
That's a good question.
I wasn't able to sign up because there was a blockade at the door.
Okay. There is actually another opportunity for public comments later. I understand. And we do want to give you the opportunity to speak on the agenda items also. And since you were not able to do that, we're happy to do that at the end of the meeting. Okay?
But you would have already voted for those agenda items by then. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand. Yes. So you would like to have.
Probably because I can't get up there now and say my comment.
I'm sorry?
Do you want to just have it after the committee reports?
Yes, okay. After the committee report, After we finish, we have another committee report. After the committee report, right before new business, then we will have another comment period, okay? Sure. Okay.
I guess no more questions on the finance, or are there? I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to make one comment. At the last superintendent's council meeting at the intermediate unit, all the superintendents did have an opportunity to go around the table and talk about where their budget currently was. Most of them are completed at this point, and I just wanted to announce that our tax increase at the 2.08% is the 4th lowest in the county out of all of the school districts. So we were very pleased to bring it in at that level. I believe 23. 22. Says our MCIU rep.
What'd you do with the others?
Property Committee, Gretchen Slipinski.
Thank you. We had a Property Committee meeting on Friday, May 11th. We were reviewing several bids. You'll see a lot of these on the agenda this evening. First, we reviewed the Erdenheim main electrical transformer replacement project, which is one of our major summer projects, and we will be awarding that bid on the agenda this evening. We also talked about the MCIU waste removal bid evaluation. We recommended to proceed with a 3-year contract through the MCIU consortium. That's kind of a standard thing that we usually move forward with. We also reviewed the prime contractor's bid for the Early Learning Center, and that's our new upcoming K-2 building. We spent a good deal of time with a representative from Dewey Engineering and a representative from the Schrader Group to look at the alternates that were part of that contract. We looked at different types of roofing materials, different types of flooring, what the differences in prices were for those, what we wanted to move forward with, and all of those factored into the amount of money for the bid, which then allowed us to determine who would be awarded the bid for that. We also looked at the Early Learning Center construction testing firms and selected a contractor for that, which is on the agenda as well. We also looked at the Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority. We actually have to reserve capacity for the Water and Sewer Authority for our K-2 building, so we need to move forward with that at this point. That is one of the agenda items as well. We reviewed the high school graduation procedures. The construction for the high school upgrades will be starting prior to graduation, so the site contractor and our facilities are coordinating to minimize the impact of the construction on graduation. And also this year, of course, we have our new turf field, and the maintenance department is working to build some platforms for under the seating, and staff and students will be instructed about proper footwear for the ceremony so we can protect our turf field. We started talking about the existing end field and future considerations for that property, and we will be moving forward with the next stage for the Plan Con approvals. And that is it. Any questions?
Okay, we will open it up for a second public comment period. If you come up, you can bring a chair up. And if you could state your name and your address, please.
Yeah, sure. Giuseppe Monticelli, Ward 7. If you don't know what Ward 7 is, I believe you have able access to the computer to know what Ward 7 is here in the township.
What street do you live on?
So let's go and call that Edan Road.
Okay.
Spelling of the surname is Monticcelli. Okay, let's get started here. So this for a outside contracted person from the MCIU coming in to coach some sport activity? What's this?
No, this is professional development training for our teaching staff on co-teaching, where both special education and general education students are being taught together in the general ed classroom. So it is not athletic coaching, it's professional development coaching for our professional staff members.
For teachers or students?
For teachers.
On what subjects?
On how to teach successfully with both special education and general education students in the same classroom.
Okay, and that's going to be, okay, and that's $15,000 that's going to be more for this specialized so-called contractor that's going to be coming out for a total of almost 10 days, but technically 9 days. Wow, that's just amazing. Well, highly disapprove of that. What's Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority attachment CCC? Is that something to deal with the sewage lines underneath the field?
Have you heard the report of the property committee? I think it was clear to understand it's reserve capacity for the new school. They provide capacity, and it's not unusual for various utility contractors to have you, especially sewer and water, reserve your capacity. I'm sure you can appreciate in order to operate a building, we need sewer and water.
And is this costing the taxpayers any money for this?
Certainly, yes.
And any idea what the estimated cost of that is going to be?
The estimated cost for escrowing of funds is roughly $92,000. However, at the time the building opens, that $92,000 will be credited back to the sewer use and the sewer bills that building generates.
So there would be nothing of that amount of $92,000 that taxpayers would have to pay on the invoice?
Certainly, you have to pay for the sewer.
Yeah, through the sewer bills once the building is open. Once the building is open, through the sewer bills, we will get a credit for that $92,000 back.
Then that credit should be, you should be charging the township taxpayers.
That's correct.
Okay.
But the sewer bill will be charged. That's correct.
So you're charging taxpayers whatever goes in the sewage lines?
Well, it's part of the general fund budget.
Oh my God.
The sewer bill, like similar to what the sewer bills for any home in the township.
For any township resident.
Right.
Any idea how that much, I know it fluctuates each month with the meter readings, but how much is the sewer bill for all of the district property? Any idea how much that is? Or will you
Not off the top of my head.
Not on the agenda.
Not off the top of my head.
No, off the top. Is that, it's most likely over 1,000, isn't it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Attachment DDD. No. Oh, what's up with this? It's a resolution of some sort here?
Where are we?
Number 19 on the agenda. It's a reimbursement.
This has to do with the upcoming bond funds. We're currently expending money for the two projects at the high school and the new K2. What this says is that the next bond issue, if we don't get those proceeds in time to pay those bills, we can pay those bills from the general fund or other capital project fund, and then when those proceeds come in, we can then reimburse those two funds.
Okay. Give me a rundown of what's going on with these warm heaters that Ms. Polinsky said. Why is this needed?
Are you referring to the transformer replacement project?
No, the warm heaters underneath the seats at the high school.
Oh, that's not anything that I spoke about.
Okay, I must have misunderstood you.
Yeah, no.
The transformer project now?
The transformer replacement project at Erdenheim is what I thought you were referring to, but there was nothing about heated seating. We have to replace the transformer at Erdenheim. That's on our agenda for this evening, and we spoke about that in our property committee meeting.
Property?
No, it's owned by the district.
Yeah, but is that the transformer there? Is that Pico managed?
No.
No. Okay. And roughly how much is the estimate on that? That's to be Timmy though? And of course, you guys are hiring a third-party contractor to do that, I'm guessing?
Sure.
Okay, and there's that, and my very last comment on agenda item tonight, I will be back for non-agenda item public comment. Why are you guys hiring kids for these technical cleaning of the laptops, the computer repairs and stuff? Is this in fact the first year that you're in fact hiring kids and paying them $8.50 per hour for something that Mr. Rudolph, I don't know if you still employ him, or someone at the education level or Mr. Rudolph could do? Why have you gone out of your way and hired about 15 kids? That's honestly $8.50 per hour. My God, that's like over $1,000 per each week if you count up all the kids. What's going on? Why is it that you have to hire all these kids, outsource them? By the way, they're your kids that go to this district. Why do you have to outsource them and get them in there? Instead, when you could really have one guy come in and run the show and clean all the laptops. Could someone explain that to me?
I don't know who the individual is that you were referring to.
All the individuals, all the students.
No, the individual that you named, but I'm assuming that he was in the district.
Mr. Rudolph?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that
But
is.
I'm assuming if that was someone who was employed in the district many years ago, it was long before we had a one-to-one initiative where we had literally hundreds of laptop computers that have various issues after students have been using them throughout the year. So we do need a core group of individuals to help not only with the cleaning but also the repairs. And we feel that we want to give an opportunity to interested and eager students rather than hiring from the outside. We prefer to give that opportunity to students first.
How much roughly is that going to be when you get done paying all these kids? I know there's hours involved, and I know some hours that can be on and off, but roughly how many hours a day are these kids?
Mr. Oliver, do you have an estimate of how many hours per day the students will be working?
5 hours per day per student.
And for how many days?
4 days a week.
For
8 weeks. 8 weeks. Wow. Oh my. That is just so amazing. You know, what I quietly see here in this board is something that Muhammad Ali used to do as a boxer. It's called rope dipping. You would sit there in the arcade case and allow the arcade case punch the crap out of you. And that's pretty much what's happening here. You're really laying so many items here, punch the crap out of you, when you realistically could be saving money here and not doing all this jumbo BS. I mean, really, you need to come up and Miss Lapis over there said, oh no, we have to do the transformer. Then the next thing you know, you have to get the sewer people out, and of course that's how it costs, and you have to do this big old fancy project. Let's go ahead and knock down Enfield, kids, and let's move you to the art school at Montgomery Ave. Wow, that is just quite amazing. That'll be the end of my public comment on agenda items. I will be back once you call for non-agenda items.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Are you chairing the meeting tonight, Chair
Yes.
Epstein?
Yes.
And what's up? Catherine's not in tonight?
I'm right here. Mrs. Sarsfield is here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know first name basis.
All right, for new business, number 1, personnel attachment, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: administrative personnel, certificated personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, extended school year, extra pay for extra responsibilities, and conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Second. Okay, any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan. Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield. Ms. Lipinski.
Aye.
Dr. Ted Tusk.
Aye.
I just want to take a moment to thank the board for their support of our decision to hire Mr. Ferraro as a full-time athletic director. I apologize if that wasn't clear, but thank you for allowing me the opportunity to answer your question and provide an explanation. But Mr. Ferraro's service to the district has been absolutely outstanding. For some of you who may not know this, he's been working for us through an outside contractor for a number of years, but we made him a part-time athletic director because of how invested he was in the students and his service to the district. And because it was such a monumental task for our assistant principal at the high school to perform both roles as a full-time assistant principal and athletic director, we wisely began turning over a number of those responsibilities to Joe. Joe has been immensely helpful, particularly in the past year and a half, with respect to a lot of the decisions that have been made about the new facilities that we're going to be having at the high school. He's just been incredibly helpful. He's also relieved a lot of the burden so that assistant principals can really focus on their other responsibilities, working with students, working with staff, and with curriculum at the high school. So Joe, we want to welcome you to full-time status. We're very happy to have you on board, and we know that we're going to see great things from you, so welcome.
Number 2, Scenario Learning LLC, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the contract with Scenario Learning LLC for Safe Schools effective July 1, 2018, to provide online trainings to the district for education and compliance in the amount of $2,184.50. Is there a motion? Motion. A second? Second. Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 3, CIEE Foreign Exchange Student, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves a foreign exchange student from Italy for the 2018-2019 school year, sponsored by the Council on International Education Exchange. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second? Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 5, extended school year agreement with Devereaux, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between Devereaux and the Springfield Township School District for the student 201-80514-02 for the extended school year program. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Okay, Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. I'm sorry, I skipped number 4, extended school year agreement with Camp Pegasus, recommended motion. The Board of Directors approves the agreement between Camp Pegasus and Springfield Township School District for student number 201-80514-01 for extended school year program. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 6, West Interactive Services Corporation School Messenger, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between Springfield Township School District and West Interactive Services Corporation, DBA School Messenger, from July 1, 2018 through June 30th, 2019, in the amount of $3,950.40. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 7, Healthy Relationships Curriculum, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the adoption of the Healthy Relationships Curriculum by the Wesley Spectrum for use with students with autism spectrum disorder as recommended by the Academic Affairs Committee. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? I actually have a question. Is this solely for students with ASD, or can it be used for students who have other disabilities?
It can be used for the wide array of students.
Okay. All right, Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. Number 8, Mathematics Program. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the adoption of the Mathematics Program Envision PA Edition by Pearson for grades K through 8 as recommended by the Academic Affairs Committee. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. Number 9, Voices of Excellence, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the Voices of Excellence a cappella and steppers attendance at the 2018 PASA PSBA School Leadership Conference in Hershey, PA, from October 18th to 19th, 2018. Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. Number 10, 2018-2019 MCIU Professional Development Training Agreement. The Board of School Directors approves the attached professional development training agreement with MCIU for professional development during the 2018-2019 school year in the amount of $15,000 inclusive of mileage and materials. Attachment BBB. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Bedard.
Start again. Excuse me for a minute. Mr. Bedard.
I'm trying to rush through this for a certain reason. Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. On number 11, construction, inspection, and testing. It's noted that the vendor is incorrect on this motion. It should read, the Board of School Directors approves CAX and Company to perform all construction, inspection, and testing responsibilities for the new ELC construction project in the amount of $85,000. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. Number 12, HVAC testing, adjusting, and balancing, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves HT Lyons Contractors to perform all HVAC testing, adjusting, and balancing responsibilities for the new ELC construction project in the amount of $48,500. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. Number 13, waste removal services. The Board of School Directors approves Waste Management of PA to provide all waste removal services from July 1, 2018 to July 30th, 2021 in the amount of $90,341.19. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
I just have a question on this. Is the $90,000 for the entire contract, or is that a year?
3 years.
It's for a 3-year contract. Okay. Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski.
Aye. Number 14, Erdenheim Main Electrical Transformer Replacement Project. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves AJM Electrical, Inc. to perform all work associated with the Erdenheim Main Electrical Transformer Replacement Project in the amount of $71,700. Is there a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Release of proposed, number 15, release of proposed 2018-2019 final budget. Recommended motion, the Board of School Directors approves the following. Number 1, the release to the public of the 2018-2019 proposed final budget on Form PDE-2028. And number 2, the advertisement of the district's intent to adopt the 2018-2019 final budget and the adoption of the Farmstead Exclusion Act at the June 19th, 2018 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I do have one question. When this is released to the public, is it made clear how the increase is in comparison to other school districts and the index mean?
No, actually, it's only made clear when I do the final budget presentation, which will be in June at the June board meeting. But this is simply the fact that the district is required by the state to ensure that the public has an opportunity to view the budget and make comment on it if they so desire. But it doesn't give any type of comparative information at that point.
Actually, the form that it's released on is the required form as well.
Dr. Hacker usually does an extensive presentation to give us a good idea of how the budget was developed and where the funds will be going.
Motion to table.
Okay, Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 16, approval of Plan Con F, Attachment C, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves Plan Con F, Attachment C, with selected alternates for the new K-2 Early Learning Center as per the attached. Is there a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 17, acceptance of PA State Audit and Corrective Action Plan. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors accepts the audit report for the period of July 1, 2012 through June 30th, 2016, and authorizes the management representation letter and the corrective action plan to be sent to the Commonwealth of PA Department of the Auditor General. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 18, BCWSA Reservation of Capacity Agreement, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the reservation of capacity agreement with the Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority for the new K2 ELC, conditional on final review of the agreement by solicitor and the superintendent. Attachment CCC. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 19, reimbursement resolution, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the attached resolution allowing reimbursement from the proceeds of debt for capital expenditures and costs of issuance temporarily funded from revenues or other sources for various capital projects, including but not limited to the construction of a new K2 Early Learning Center, attachment DDD. Is there a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Number 20, Kate, oh, aye, I'm sorry. I'm moving right along. It would be aye. Thank you. All right, number 20. K2, Early Learning Center bids. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors intends to award contracts totaling the base bid plus alternates listed to each vendor on the attached resolution for work performed on the new K-2 Early Learning Center project. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski. Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Number 21, general fund transfers. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the following transfers from the general fund. $2 million to the bond fund 2016A for costs associated with the high school stadium project, $550,000 for the purchase of school buses. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard.
Aye.
Ms. Jordan.
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus.
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slopinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. We have public comments on non-agenda items.
For the record again, Giuseppe Monticelli, Monticelli, Ward 72 Edan Road. Geez, a lot of stuff to say on the non-public comment. I'm glad I'm saying this because I didn't have a voice 4 years ago. Did I? No, I was shunned down by the district on multiple occasions. My first public comment would be, who is your secretary over by the white building? Is that Miss Smith?
We have several administrative assistants. Which one would you be referring to?
Is there a Miss Smith?
No, there is not.
Okay. Is all of the administrative assistants and the secretaries over there aware of how to complete FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request? All of them trained how to complete and take them?
If you're referring to a right-to-know request, they're handled by Mr. King.
Gotcha. Oh, so if someone comes in and wants to do a FOIA request?
We don't have FOIA requests. Dr. Hacker told you we're bound by Pennsylvania law, which is the right to know. Let me suggest, if I might respectfully to you, sir, and to the board, this is a comment period. It shouldn't be an examination period. Certainly, we welcome comment. The Sunshine Law, in my opinion, speaks to public comment, not questions and answers. So I think the board welcomes your comment. They've made exception for you out of order.
Your name, firm?
I'm here for the solicitor's office tonight.
Okay. Bar number, or are you going to be difficult and I'm going to have to request that? What? I'm sorry, I didn't understand. What's your bar license number?
Please, if I might. I'm suggesting to my client that they listen to your comments respectfully, and we limit this to a comment period, not a question and answer.
Okay.
Certainly, right-to-know requests are available to be made through the district during appropriate business hours.
You could be difficult. Okay. Well, I'm going to go on to my next comment here. I don't expect any answers to my questions on if you're going to be that difficult. Well, let's just throw out this. Do you guys allow kids to bring in political signs and post them on district property? Like that one right there. Okay, interesting. You got to take advice on your Esquire there.
We're happy to hear. If you have a comment, we're happy to hear that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm going to go on to my next comment here. So, really, I mean, you guys really have to go ahead and have so many shrinks attend these workshops. You know, all of these registration fees, I'm assuming, is coming out of taxpayers' money. Let's look at this month's on the one dated May 1st. Let's see here. We have Janet Sachs. She's going on a Atlantic City Casino binge, and Atlantic City Casino binge is going to be a registration fee of $389. Wow. Then you got to have some transportation and lodging fees on that, and that's rounded off to $91. just amazing. You gotta wonder if this is required by Pennsylvania Commonwealth law for these certain title positions to be taking these conference workshops, or if it's just out of preference. And the thing is here, a good word of key to remember when you're signing off and voting on these documents, especially new members like Miss Jordan over there, you really have to pay attention instead of throwing taxpayer money out the window. You know, the key word here is do stuff that are needs, not preferences. Don't be doing this if it's a preference. Do stuff that's really, really a need of the district. That would have to conclude the conference workshop. Let's see here, and of course you aren't answering questions. You'd be funny, you know, you're taking your Esquire's advice. And my last thing that I would have to state here that is a very serious matter is that you guys really should review with your Esquire over there, CPSL Law Act 127 of 2014, as I believe you may have violated that back in 2015 and previous years of what I bear witness to. It's really a shame that you're hiring Lauren Patterson Davis again for the salary per each year of $134,000, when allegedly a bear witness of myself, she concealed crimes for Jason Gattuso on multiple occasions of what I witnessed to. And bear in mind, the 2 female victims that came out in 2015 of being allegedly a victim. Well, not allegedly anymore because he was convicted and given the death penalty. The 2 victims that came out, those weren't the only 2. I know of over 30. And those 30, some of which are still here in this high school today. It's really a shame you're going to hire a co-conspirator again. And you gotta wonder why she was fired or resigned in the first place from the middle school as being a principal over there. You really do. And I highly urge all of your commissioners, township board members here to really think about that. I know you already hired her, but it says contingent upon all meeting statutory requirements. And I believe one of those statutory requirements is not breaking the law, in which I have bear witness to multiple times. And I really don't appreciate you, this whole district, allowing abuse victims to be not heard. They were bringing up their concerns about Mr. Gattuso for years on end, including myself. Why did you not hear us? Why?
I don't think we ought to discuss individuals or personnel matters here. We're bordering on libelous
You're
behavior.
bordering on matters that already have been dealt with the comment police court.
That's fine. I think you've had
Okay, I had sufficient time, you're saying? Okay, well, let me go ahead and walk my arse, A-R-S-E, out of here then. And remember, you should have listened to us back in 2015.
Thank you, Mr.
Over
Monticelli.
30 victims. Over 30.
Thank you, Mr. Monticelli.
Can you believe that, Nancy? Over 30.
Future meeting dates, interim board meeting Tuesday, June 5th, 2018 at 7 o'clock p.m. in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. School board meeting Tuesday, June 19th, 2018, 7 p.m. at the Freeze Memorial Lobby. And it indicates that the Tuesday 19th should be held at the Springfield School District Middle School Library? Is that, so it's a change of, okay, change of venue there, sorry. So the 19th, the June 19th meeting will be at the middle school library. Thank you, we're adjourned.